Hi guys, and welcome to another unboxing and first impressions. Today we're unboxing the latest model from Ginault. I already featured their Ocean Rover on the channel and it was an amazingly built watch. It was like a wet dream for people who like mil-sub Rolexes, getting that maxi dial with the regular slimmed out case and everything, and it was incredibly well built. This is the latest model called Silent Service. So let's check it out. Now, as you know, when it comes to packaging, really makes an effort. When it comes to the box, when it comes to the way, the papers, everything just gives you like a feeling like you bought something special, and that's something I like. You even get this paper that says the results of your watch, because each watch is regulated, I believe, for 6 weeks before it's shipped out. So here you can see the basic information. These are powered by the Sellita SW200. It says hand built in America because they're assembled there, and the cases and the bezel and some of the other parts are actually made there, according to their claims. Now, there was some controversy regarding the Ocean Rover and the beginnings of Ginault. That has been years ago, and I don't want to cover that because there's a lot of videos that covered that, a lot of forum threads. I just want to concentrate on the watch itself, and hopefully it's as good, if not better, than the Ocean Rover, because that thing was really amazing. Now, these are pricey. You have a couple of variations starting from $14.99 for this configuration that I got. The no date with a regular diver bezel. You have a date version, it's $16.99, and a Cyclops date version, that's $17.99. Now, as you can see, the watch comes on this beautiful pillow, comes with a Rolex styled clasp and bracelet. And another thing that I remember from the Ocean Rover was just how well protected everything was, and it seems to be the same case here. As you can see, they really tape like everything. Every surface has a protective layer on it, which is pretty cool. So let's unwrap this thing and then move on. Okay, and here we are. That was quite a chore. Like I said, every surface on the sides, the bracelet, everything was taped up to protect this finish. Now, apparently all the cases are hand finished by Ginault, and as you can see, it really does look good. It has polished sides, it has a brushed top, and you have these chamfers or bevels right here, this very thin bevel. Very nice looking. The bezel, as you can see, it's pretty flat. It has slight angle toward the crystal, but not too much, and I actually prefer it this way. This has graduations for all the 60 minutes, and the insert is sapphire. The crystal is also sapphire with triple anti-reflective coating on the inside only, just the way I like it, and apparently it has improved the visibility. The hands are sword-shaped like the military-styled hands of the Rolex and Omega, while the dial is more like the Seamaster rather than the Rolex Submariner. When it comes to the proportions, this is 41 millimeters by 47, and apparently just 12.1 millimeters thin. I say thin, not thick, because that is very thin for a dive watch. Comes on a 3-link bracelet, just like the one you find on the Rolex Submariner. Comes with the same type of a clasp, and it also has on-the-fly adjustment. Let's try it. Very nice. Let's try the bezel, because they say they improved the bezel compared to the Ocean Rover. So let's try how it works. I hope the camera picks up the clicks. Okay, they were not kidding. This is one of the smoothest bezels that I ever operated. It's so soft and smooth, yet gives you a resistance. Like, it's not resistance in a spring bar, like in a springy type, like when you're twisting and the spring is giving you resistance. No, this one has like constant resistance, probably from the rubber gasket, while the clicks are very soft and very... Okay, it's very impressive. I'll do it just one more time. They were not kidding. I usually like bezels that have some resistance, but one that where you can feel the clicks like really firm. Here the clicks are soft, but it still has resistance. I don't know how they did it, but it is amazing, and they're right. This is one of the best bezel actions I have tried. The crown is a screw-in crown. It doesn't have any lug guard, any crown guards. The movement Sellita SW200, Alabor 5, I believe, and it's been like I said, regulated. So we're gonna test the accuracy when I spend some time with the watch. Apparently, all the markers are hand put there. They're diamond cut. Also the hands. It's like amazing attention to detail. We'll test that under macro because I've had watches that cost a lot, and then when you get them under macro, everything falls apart. But I also had some pretty cheap watches like that Wise at Damascus that I reviewed, where the watch is not really that pricey, but they do claim they do all the hand finishing. And when I put that thing under macro, it was as good as my Rolex Submariner, if not better. So we'll see how this one looks when I get to do the full review. Now the difference between the Ocean Rover and this, another one, is that here they went with a matte dial. It does look very legible. It makes the markers stand out, but I kind of liked that glossy enamel dial that the Ocean Rover had, so I believe they should have left it there. Also, another thing that I disliked about the Ocean Rover, and I wrote to them when they introduced this model, is the amount of text. I just don't like this much text on the dial, especially when it's written, the phrases that are written here. I dislike that about the Ocean Rover. I dislike here. They say they made some mockings, or they made like prototypes with less text. They didn't like the way it looks, so they went with this one. I wish they offered the option to order, let's say, a simpler dial and this dial. That would be awesome. But what can you do? It does give the balance to the dial, but I'm just not a huge fan of it. So let's try to put it on my wrist, which is 6.5 inches, and we're going to compare it to the Submariner because I do wear my 41mm Submariner right here. So let's first put them side by side. So as you can see, while the Ocean Rover was more like a pre-maxi sub, this is like a maxi, but done in a slightly different way. More similar to the 41mm Submariner. So a maxi case with slightly thinned out lugs, and it comes with a 20mm bracelet, whereas this is a 21. And as you can see, size-wise, they're pretty similar. This is slightly thinner at 12. I believe the Submariner is 12.5. And as you can see, even the profile is slightly thinner. Very nice. Okay, so let's put it on my wrist and see how it looks. It hasn't been sized, so I'll just have to mock it up and hold it. And then we're going to do a Lume shot, and that's going to be it. Okay, so here it is on my 6.5 inch wrist. Just as I imagine it would look. Very nice, wears very thin. And as you can see, the T-shaped end links do point downward, just like on a Rolex. So it does wear pretty good. Usually when other brands other than Rolex try to do these T-shaped end links, one thing they mess up is make them go pretty much straight like this, and then on my small wrist it looks weird. The Rolex does it like this, like curves it more downwards, and they did it as well, which is something I like. Very nice. Okay, let's do the Lume shot. Since we do have the Submariner, we're going to compare the two with when it comes to the Lume, and that's going to be it for today's unboxing. But like I said, do stay tuned for the full review because I really want to see how this thing looks under macro. Okay, so let's charge both watches just for a second. Okay, there we go. Let's get the camera to focus and zoom in, and then I'm gonna try to turn off the light with my other hand. That's not gonna be easy. There we go. And the Lume is amazing. It's on par with Rolex. No question about it. It does come with a lumed bezel. As you can see, it's very legible because of the hand design, because of the marker design. I do like it. I always prefer dive watches that only have the lumed pip, not the whole bezel. But on this one, it looks okay. It makes the watch look visually bigger in the dark. Let's get back to this. So when it comes to this watch, usually you know that the YouTube reviewers are gonna say don't buy a Rolex until you get this is better than Rolex, blah blah blah. I can't say until I do the full review and do all the macro shots. One thing I will say, it's not good as Rolex is this on the fly adjustment. It doesn't feel as smooth as this one. And another thing about Rolex is not the sum of its parts. There are watches that are better finished than Rolex. I've reviewed watches that cost 10 times less. They have certain parts better finished than Rolex, but Rolex is more than a sum of its parts. It's about the brand, it's about the achievement when you get one, so I'm not even gonna dwell into that. But I will compare the finish when I do the macro shots to see. But if you want a Rolex, none of these things are gonna, no matter how good they are, they're not gonna quench your thirst for Rolex. Trust me, I tried. It just doesn't work. If you want a Rolex, you want a Rolex. But when it comes to these micro brands, we'll see if this is as good as they claim it is. I do like the way this thing plays with the light because of the sapphire insert. Much better than if they went with a ceramic. I do like that. I like the markers. They really reflect the light. The only thing, like I said, it will be more appropriate given the shiny sapphire insert, the shiny markers and everything, would be a shiny dial. I understand why they did with this, and it does create quite a contrast, but I believe like a glossy dial would be better. Anyways, that's it when it comes to this unboxing. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.